This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at La Mirada Theatre for the Performing Arts for the opening of Mary Poppins.
Hi, I'm Ashton Marcus with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
I'm Brandy Burkhardt. I'm currently playing Mary Poppins at La Mirada. I was recently seen as Cricket on Heart of Dixie on the CW, and I've done some Broadway shows like Mamma Mia and Tale of Two Cities. Been on some recordings if you want to iTunes me.
And which character did you play?
I played Mary Poppins.
Great. And could I have a brief synopsis for the people who need it?
Mary Poppins is about a nanny who flies into this family's life, literally, and changes the course of their story. She kind of guides the family to remember the magic of life and reminds them how to have fun. And it all starts with the kids, but it's really a story about Mr. Banks, who has lost his child, and she kind of helps him find his inner child through his own children.
I loved your performance. I mean, I was actually crying. I made a total spectacle of myself.
Oh, well, good. That's what we're looking for in an audience.
But how do you tackle a role that was made famous by Julie Andrews?
Well, Julie Andrews in my book can do no wrong, and I had no illusions or delusions about ever living up to her performance. So what I did was enjoy every moment of it and kind of express my joy in having had this story as a child guide me. And the music is so brilliant. The book is written by Julian Fellows. I mean, I couldn't be given better material and better inspiration. I'm thrilled to be able to play it.
Again, I loved your performance.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
No problem. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
Hi, I'm Lee Wakeford. Born and raised in South Africa, Cape Town. Came to the States in about 2005. And I moved out here to pursue the dream to be an actor, a dancer, a singer. And I'm fortunate enough to find myself playing the part of Bert in La Mirada's production of Mary Poppins.
And could you give me a brief synopsis of Bert?
So Bert is he is the man of all trades. He is both the narrator, the magical player, the person that connects with both the audience and is integral to the play as well. And he's magical when Mary is around. So he connects the audience with the story of the play. He tells it from his perspective as if it has happened before, which I believe it has. And he was obviously played by the very iconic Dick Van Dyke in the movie version, in the Disney version of Mary Poppins. And it's such an incredibly memorable character. And so my hope was only to bring a little bit of that, just a nod to Dick Van Dyke, but then also to encompass this entirely new version, which is more so based on the P.L. Travers books, which has then been adapted into a stage play, first in London, moved to the West End, then to Broadway, and now it's being played regionally.
So how do you tackle someone? You're trying to play a play that everyone's thinking, this guy, I'm going to compare him to Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Well, the beauty of it all is at least he's written somewhat differently, and so I think an ode is appreciated, but at the same time there's so much room for you to bring your own charm to it, and I think that's the key word. As long as this character has charm, then audiences will connect to him, and they will feel safe in his hands and safe in the way that he carries the story, and then also the way that this part is written is just truly I can show up to work and people will love him regardless because he is such an incredibly lovable character.
I loved your performance.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
Of course, my pleasure.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
I'm Martin Kildare. Well, I grew up here in Seal Beach, California, and then I went away to college in the Bay Area and went to graduate school for acting, and then I lived in New York for 15 years where I did some Broadway shows. Then I came back when my daughter was born and have been here for 10 years and happy to be working here in the Southland.
And which character did you play?
I played Mr. Banks tonight. Well, Mr. Banks is a fellow who is working as hard as he can to provide a living for his family in the early 20th century when there is no social safety net. And in the process of doing that, he sort of loses the thread and is not really connected to his wife and children. And through the magic of Mary Poppins, his heart grows 3 sizes, much like the Grinch, by the end of the show.
I loved your performance. In fact, I was moved to tears. I made a total spectacle of myself.
Well, I guess that's the goal. Yeah, because it's a very moving journey, and I think that the Mr. Banks sort of his growth is a reminder to us all that the people around us are more important than the things we might be aspiring for.
Yeah, a lot of people think of Mary Poppins as Mary Poppins, but Mr. Banks, he changed a lot, and he was kind of the emotional focus of the play.
Yeah, well, that's true, and P.L. Travers, who wrote the book, was not particularly happy with the Disney movie because it made everything a little too jolly. And so when Cameron Mackintosh teamed with Disney to put the musical on, they went back to the books and they included a lot of that material. And that's why also the inspiration for the movie Saving Mr. Banks, where the Disney executives are sort of told by the author that this is really about the father and his struggles to do right by his family and his misunderstanding that it's not just what you have, but how much time you are able to spend. Yeah.
A little bit about my show. A lot of community theater actors watch my show, my radio show, and a lot of them have been working for like 15 years. They get paid nothing. They keep doing it. They love it, but again, they just can't get a break. Can you give them any kind of advice from your past experience?
Well, I would say that at whatever level you're doing it, unless you're doing films, and that's a very different process, doing it for the love is what you've got to do. It's very tough. There aren't as many live theaters as there used to be, so just putting a middle-class living together, working as an actor, is very difficult. But if you do it for the love on any level, whether it's the community theater, whether it's professional theater, or even if it's a Broadway theater, that's really what keeps you coming back. And yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for being on the show.
I appreciate it.
Thanks. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
Shannon Warren. I started working in theater when I was 6 years old. I've been working professionally for, 20 years or so, and I played Mrs. Banks tonight in Mary Poppins. Mrs. Banks takes a lovely journey from being a woman who's held back in her own life by the confines of her husband's idea of what her role is, and who comes into her own over the course of Mary Poppins because Mary Poppins comes into their lives and changes their way of thinking.
Yeah, your part was a little different from that, which was from the Disney movie.
Very different, yes. She has a much greater journey in this incarnation of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love your performance. I love the musical, and I also like the fact that you added a little more strength to the character.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you. It's a great role. I'm grateful to have done it.
Great. Did the director come up with all the things, or did you actually put a little input yourself into the character?
Oh, definitely. I did the role last summer, and there's not much time to sit and discuss. So I just kind of had to dive in and make some decisions, and also I read the books and tried to get as much of an idea from that as I could, and then took some input from the director that was very, very helpful, and built the character around that.
Yeah, well, again, I really liked your rendition of it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
Of course. Have a great night. Take care.
Hi, I'm Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
Brandon Burt. I grew up in San Diego, California. I'm 22 years old. I've been dancing for roughly 20 years. I studied in San Diego with Debbie Allen, and then I moved to Orange County when I was 18 for college. I went to Cal State Fullerton for a while, but I left because just for financial reasons, but I've been blessed to do theater, and I started working with 3D theatricals. They're amazing, and then I've been working with Kathy. I teach at her studio, so I work for McCoy Rigby, and I teach their kids, and then this is my first La Mirada show. So this show has been a blessing, and I love it so much. Yeah, I played Nelia, so I was the dancing statue. Yeah.
Okay. And you also on the ensemble, also, right?
Yes, I was also in the ensemble, yes.
I loved your performance, and I actually loved your movement too.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Because I think the movie had a lot more of the CG graphics of like the merry-go-round scene, but you were the only thing that allowed it to have movement during that scene.
Thank you. That's a beautiful thing to hear. Yeah, it's really hard. Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
Yeah, I loved it because you were actually the CG in there. You were the only thing that allowed movement during that scene.
Thank you. It's an interesting show because it's so married to what people believe of Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke, and it's really nice to see it on a stage and see it just transform and take colors and really hit the message of love and family the way it's not always portrayed. And so it's nice to have that little magical character element because they talk about Nelius the whole time. And so I find it really important to be as invested and as breathtaking as possible so that when the kids bring me back up, it's meaningful. And so I think the whole show is meaningful, and like I really appreciate you saying that because that's really nice.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
Of course. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
Hey, how are you? I'm Christine Tucker. I am from Texas, and so I moved here about 2 years ago with my husband, and I just started auditioning around here. I love musical theater, and then I just happened upon this amazing gem, and I got into this, and it's been a freaking amazing experience since it is a family, and that's the best part of this show. I played multiple characters, so I was in the ensemble, I was in all the big numbers, the wacky characters, flying the kite, doing supercalifragilistic, and I also got to play a boy, which was awesome in 7 times. Yeah.
A lot of my listeners are community theater actors. Is there any kind of advice you can give from your past that helps them along?
Basically, just believe in yourself and just trust that you have everything to offer and that you can't compare yourself with anybody else, that you have enough, and you just got to keep pushing forward and persevere. Yeah.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
No, thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
I'm Dino Nicandros. I graduated from Pepperdine University. Been out in California for about 5 years, and been working professionally for about a year now.
And which character did you play?
Robert Sinai. He's the clumsy butler for the Banks family, and he's always trying to do his job as best he can, and it never goes well.
I love the play, the musical, and I also love your performance and the performance of the entire ensemble. I thought it was very professional.
Well, thank you. Our director, Glenn Cassell, is a professional in every sense of the word, and he's a drill sergeant, and we got this up really quickly, and we're really proud of it. So, yeah.
A lot of my people who listen to me are community theater actors. Is there any kind of advice you can give them from your past?
It's going to sound cliche, but really don't ever give up. And my dad always told me that when I was growing up, if there's something you want, it's going to happen. You just got to be patient. You got to be kind to everyone around you, and that kindness will come back to you in the form of a part or a crew position or anything. Just jump at the first opportunity. So, yeah.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
I'm Helen Geller. I've been in theater most of my life, and I went from ingenue to character to older character, and I love it. I'll never give it up. I'll stop when my toes turn up. In the Jolly Holiday, I was the nun, and I was the bird woman who sings Feed the Birds, which was Disney's favorite song.
A lot of people who listen to my show are like community theater actors. Is there any kind of advice you can give them from your many years of history?
Keep at it. Just keep at it and go to auditions. A lot of the people in the show, in all the shows, they're not equity members, but they love to do theater, and they do theater, and some of them, if they keep at it, then they become professional actors. And it's the love of the art. Yeah.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
Oh, you're very welcome. I hope you enjoyed it.
I was crying.
Oh,
I mean, I made a spectacle of myself.
Did I make you cry, I hope?
Well, actually, I think the scenes where Mr. Bank was in it. I mean, I just felt for him.
Yeah, well, some people came up to me and they said, "Oh, you made me cry. Feed the birds." I love that.
Yeah, thank you very much for being on the show.
You're very welcome. My pleasure.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
Logan Watts. I'm 11 years old. I'm currently playing Michael Banks at La Mirada Theatre for the Performing Arts. It's really fun doing it here. And the cast is really nice. Everybody's so welcoming. It's a fantastic show to be in.
Great. And the character Michael Banks, could you give me a brief bio of him?
Well, at first, before Mary Poppins comes, he has a bunch of horrible nannies, so he's kind of a brat because his father never talks to him. But Mary Poppins comes and fixes the family up, and at the end, when Mary Poppins leaves, he's basically a good kid with his sister, Jane.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
You're welcome.
Hi, my name's Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and you're?
I'm Noah Solorio.
So how do you get into acting anyway?
Well, how did I start?
Yeah.
Well, when I was much younger, I used to sit in my room and sing and pretend my stuffed animals were my fans and stuff. And I've always just loved acting and singing and dancing. So, yeah.
Okay. So how's it been? I mean, I know this is very new to you, but has it lived everything that you thought it'd be?
Oh, it's amazing, yes. I've been doing shows for about 5 years now, and this is one of the best shows I've ever done. It's so fun. The cast is wonderful, so sweet and loving. It's a family.
Great. I really enjoyed your performance. I really enjoyed the entire play.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Mary Poppins will be playing at La Mirada Theatre for the Performing Arts from May 29th to June 21st. For more information, go to www.lamiradatheatre.com or theorangecurtainrev.com.